Hey everyone, I'm your host Lanice and welcome to Soulfull. This is a space that'll help you unfold the tools within you to align with your highest self through shared experience. Because at the end of this journey, unique to oneself, we are all interconnected. We are one.
Exactly.
What is time? But it's really great to have you here and share you being so open about your story and kind of saying where you come from and just expressing yourself so openly. Really, I just found it admirable. So thank you for being here to share yourself and your story. So
thank you for having me.
So where do we begin? Oh my goodness. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I feel like when we first met, I was really immature and still figuring myself out, still discovering like who I am and who I wanted to be. And, there's a lot of people that see me in a certain light still, and I don't want them to see me as that person anymore.
Okay.
But I feel like I've gone through like a lot of personal growth. I've matured very quickly. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just I feel like I needed to like put that version of myself in the past and stop being immature and catty and mean. And I've been through a lot of stuff in my past that made me this like hard bitch.
Right.
Like I just had this like shell up and I never let anyone in.
A hard exterior.
Yeah, like a hard exterior, and I never let anyone in. And I was, just kind of pretending to be secure and happy and, that I was perfect and everything was perfect. And inside I was not perfect. I was not at all great.
Were you aware of that? That you weren't okay?
I think I was, I think I've always been aware that I'm not okay,
Great.
Still to this day, like, I want to meet someone and then tell me they're perfect and nothing's going on in the background.
Right.
Right.
I know some people like that, and trust me, you don't want to meet them.
No, I'm just like, I'd be like, fuck you. Be like, must be nice. But no, it's just, I think I was aware. I was just pretending that I was, good and was just working and doing school and, trying to keep up with the world.
Yeah.
And I saw that, kind of fading, that like bitchy, rude, immature person, I saw that person fading and I was like, you know what, I don't need to hang on to you anymore,
That's good.
I was like,
it's so much easier to I feel like when we cross that line with ourselves, it sounds so much simpler than what it actually is. You know what I mean? Like the way you're saying it is beautiful and it is possible, and I know that is your truth. But I also was with you, and even with myself still, it's just
takes a lot of time.
There's just not enough words to even say I did this, it's more of there's just so much action and work and emotions behind actually doing that for yourself, not just saying it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think from a young age, I had to grow up very quickly, I started working when I was 15. I, got my first car at 16. I started college as soon as I graduated. Graduated 6 months early from school.
Wow.
I was always go, 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 4.9 GPA, and granted, I wasn't always like that, I wasn't always great in school, great in life, but at the end I was kind of I was bullied and treated really wrong in high school, and at the end of my junior year I was you know what, I'm out of this school, I'm transferring. I transferred schools and I worked my butt off and I graduated I think I graduated 6 months early, I believe.
Wow.
Everyone graduated in June, and then I was out of there in December, beginning of January.
Wow, so you did it early.
Yeah, and I transferred to a continuation school, and everyone thought I was a bad kid and that I made bad choices. And I was just no, that was my only option. I was it's either get bullied every day and deal with that and fail my classes because I'm so emotionally damaged and being treated so badly here, or transfer where no one will mess with me and I'll just be able to do my schoolwork. And I did
Okay.
primarily like online classes because that was what was safe for me. I did go on campus, like I went on campus, but you know, like 2 of my periods were just sitting there and doing online classes on the computer and no one messing with me.
So you're saying that you finished school early and you did your classes. You tried to do most of your classes online because you were bullied?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was just easier for me. I've always been like the type of kid that, you know, excelled on computers and like, you know,
Naturally.
naturally. And it's just like, I've always been like the kid that's like, just give me headphones and like sit me in a corner and I'll get it done kind of thing. And it's weird that like looking back, I'm like, you know, like I could have graduated with like everyone. I could have just like not worked so hard. I could have just, you know, like done actual school classes. But it was just kind of like I want out of this like high school environment, and I just felt like it wasn't right for me to be there. And I wasn't trying to say like I'm better than anyone, and that I'm like, oh, like I don't need to be in high school, like I'm, you know, too good or like better than everyone. It was just primarily like, if I can, why not? You know, like,
Well, what I'm hearing is that your experience from your high school environment was feeling unsafe. And there's nothing, I mean, I would not perceive that as you thinking that you're better. It's just you trying to protect yourself,
yeah,
which a lot of people don't even have resources to, or don't even like speak out enough to even access, you know, other possible, you know, outlets for education and
right,
personal growth. So,
yeah.
that's
And like my mom was like kind of like upset because it was like I'm graduating from a continuation school, like I'm not graduating from like a real high school per se. But it's like at the end of the day, I got my diploma.
yeah,
You know,
so there
like,
was a social pressure there from
yeah,
your
from like
mom.
my mom, from like my family members, from friends, you know, because, you know, like I went to like a high school that was, you know, very like preppy, very like, oh, like we don't talk about like Valley High School, we don't talk about that school, like they're, you know, like they're awful people, they're bad kids. But I went there and I'm just like, none of you are how you're described. Like,
Wow.
none of you are awful, gross, mean people. Like, you're all super nice. Like, you all just, like, made some bad choices. And, like, you know, we all make bad choices. But you could have dropped out. You could have said, you know, I'm not doing school. But, like, you're like, you know what? Like, I'm going to get my crap together. I'm going to graduate high school. And those kids were the hardest working kids I've ever seen in my life. And they
Wow.
appreciated high school once they had that, like, second chance.
Wow.
Whereas like kids in like other high schools are like, oh, like school's so stupid, like it's so boring, like I'm not going to school, or like screw education. And it's
Right, and
like,
those are the kids that kind of have more of like that status quo and
yeah,
like
and it's like, you know, like
kind
they
of like
have
a
this like,
privileged
yeah,
mindset,
it's like,
attitude.
yeah, and it's like, sure, these kids didn't have money or they didn't have the greatest, you know, resources or the greatest living situation, but they still showed up to school. You know, they didn't miss school to go
Right,
to parties, they didn't leave school early to go to parties, you know,
right.
like they didn't make, you know, like sure they made like a bad choice and like they got expelled from high school, but it's like it sucked for me because like everyone thought I got expelled and like I was like forced to go there, and it was just like, no, like I chose to be here, like I chose to get out. Like,
So there were like rumors attached to your choice,
yeah,
and I'm sure that also didn't feel good.
no. And it was like in my old school, like, oh, like people were like spreading around that like I literally like killed someone in a car crash, or like I was
Wow.
selling drugs, or I was doing these like bad things. And I'm like, okay, like believe what you want, like kind of thing. At the end of the day, I was like, believe what you want, think what you want, you know, like at least I graduated high school, you know, at least, you know, like it doesn't matter where you graduate from. Graduate from online, you still got your diploma. Like why does it? And it's just like looking back now, it was so childish. Like it
Oh
was
yeah. Well, that's
so,
really
yeah.
all what they are is children at that age, and you can't see. Like I just feel like at least like back, you know, several years ago before, you know, I feel as if there's like a different kind of awareness now where like
Mm-hmm.
kindness is kind of like the cool thing now.
Mm-hmm.
At least I hope, because I know cyberbullying is still very real, which we'll touch base on.
Yeah.
But, you know, back then it's just like there was really no filtration, and like kids didn't really see that it's like, okay, the ones that are heading off to continuation schools are are the ones who, like, obviously maybe didn't have the best home environments, didn't really have a choice as to what they got to choose. I mean, that's the concept of being a child. You don't get to pick. You're just born into certain scenarios, different parental roles, who are also, like, lost within themselves too. It's like, how many adults do you know where it's like they don't have their shit together, but they have kids? Like, it's everybody. There's so many things to practice. It doesn't matter who you are or like how great of a household you grew up in. I will say that if you have, that cookie cutter home, it is easier, an easier lifestyle. However, there's always something, what I mean? There's always something.
What I noticed is it's the, the kids that are in the cookie cutter homes that have so much going on, and like they're pretending they're perfectly fine, and they're the ones failing their classes. They're the ones that aren't giving a crap about school. They're the ones that, or
even get into like substance abuse at a pretty young age, just from not having like maybe present parents.
Right. And, they're like, and then it's the kids that have like the crappy home situations, that don't have the money, that don't have, the BMW that daddy bought them. They don't have, these nice things, but they're getting 4.0 GPAs. They're caring about their education. They're not worried about cheerleading or sports or keeping the boyfriend, keeping the girlfriend. They're there to do what they're there to do, and like,
because they know that they don't have anybody else but themselves.
And it's
that young
like,
of an age.
I'm sure they felt like crap going to school every day. Like, oh, I'm gonna get picked on because I'm not wearing Gucci, shoes. But it's like, like, they're the ones that are showing up to school. They're the ones that are like putting like themselves into that, and like, some of my friends like were literally homeless, or like they were like sleeping on people's couches, but like they had 4.0 GPAs and they cared about school.
Wow.
And it's like, I was like, okay, so we're gonna go and bully people because they don't have the same things we have, and like I hate to admit it, like I started becoming that person. I started wearing designer clothes. Like I was like, I got like a 2005 Ford Explorer as my first car, and I was like, this isn't a BMW. Like, I became like that kid because I was in that environment.
Damn, Cam.
Yeah, but like I
did not have a car in high school.
No, yeah, like once I left that school, I was like, he's gone. Like that version of myself is gone, And like I catch myself still being that person. Like I'm sure you've seen it. Like I'm sure everyone's seen it. But it's like looking back, like I'm like, that person needs to go. Like especially with like,
I admire that.
Yeah.
What I call that is like the ego, the things that sit on the surface that we feel like we need to feel whole. And there's so many people like that. And again, it could go back to parental roles where we feel as if like I grew up and my dad always liked nice things, or like my mom always had good clothes, it's like, or again, like you're saying, your high school environment, like all the kids, that's what was important. That's what you needed to do to fit in. You had to have the brand, you had to have the car. And it's like, that sticks with us, it's interesting as we grow into adulthood. Nobody tells us that it's a very trying time in your life, It's like you need to really, practice these things now, honey, that you're 18, and like really like be aware of these things, because it's like we live our lives in our early 20s fucking up.
Yeah, no, like I'm 20 right now, and I'm just like, I don't know how to do my taxes. Like taxes are due like this month, and I'm like, thank you TurboTax, like literally thank you TurboTax, and it's just like, looking back, I'm like, wow, like I didn't learn any of this. I was more worried about like what people, like who people thought I was, versus like being who like I wanted to be. Yeah. And it's like, wow, like that person needs to go. Like I need to get my shit together. Like I need to appreciate everything I have in my life, like appreciate like everything. And like, especially with like everything going on like right now, like the world, like the pandemic is just like teaching me, like people are passing like every day. Like, like people are gone every day. And, I'm just like it's weird, but it's kind of making me want to like appreciate life more and appreciate everything that's around me and everything I have, and like the blessings I have, and like what's going on in my life, like new relationships, like I have a job. Like some people can't even say that right now. Like the work environment might not be that great for sure, but like I still have a job, I still am making income, and it's like,
that's that narrative shift.
Yeah,
it's like what I'm hearing is like you just want to heal yourself already so that you can enjoy life.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, that person needs to go, like my mindset needs to go, like my past mindset needs to go. Like I just need to like have my reinvention, like
I love that.
get on my grind, like have my reinvention and not let anything stop me.
Good. Good. I love this so much. Yeah, so you got to this point. I feel like it was like just a few months ago,
Yeah.
but you had me do a reading for you, and I learned a lot about you just through that reading. And I always tell people, like, I can do reading. I'm not like, this like professional astrologer, like tarot reader, but like it's more intuitive for me. But you got to share your story. Like you got to explain to me like what's going on at home. You got to plug in, what resonates with you based on, whichever card is present and which placement. And we basically did that and kind of dissected. We basically dived down into like even childhood shit for you, and like that it's a lot. It's a big impact, to make that change, because you're saying like you went through this high school like bullying, but like what was it, even just high school, or did it back, how far
Like
back were we
kindergarten.
talking bullying?
Like, it started in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And it changed every school I went to, like why I was being bullied. But like I started being bullied in kindergarten because, like I didn't know it back then. Like I didn't know my sexuality, I didn't know who I was, I didn't know who I was as a person. I just know I fucking like Barbie dolls and kitchen sets. I didn't want to do fucking G.I. Joe and all that crap. Like I don't want that. Like, and it started with me being picked on for those reasons. Like that I was teacher's pet. I liked, like I liked reading. I had a gold reading card. Like I was smart. I was, I loved cooking. I liked female stuff. I liked, like feminine stuff. And like as a kid, you don't know what's wrong with that. You're just like, I like my toys. Like leave me the hell alone.
Being you.
Yeah.
And you're getting teased for it, and that's confusing.
Yeah, and then
you're just being who you are.
Right. And like my dad would like feed into that at home, where it would be like, like they're right, like you need to stop playing with that stuff. Like he would throw away dolls, he would throw away this, he would throw away that. And my mom was always the type of person that let me do whatever made me happy. Like I did ballet, I did jazz dance, I did tap dance, I did cooking classes, I did choir, I did theater, I did, anything I wanted to do because my mom said, go do it. If that makes you happy, go do it. With my sister too, like she let her do cheer for 6 years, paid like $8,000 for her to be in cheer.
Wow, I didn't know that about your mom.
Yeah, and she was just kind of like, she didn't know any of this was going on because she was working as a nurse, like outside.
Right.
And when I would get home from school, I would have like black eyes, or I would like, my clothes would be covered in dirt because I was pushed on the track, and like my dad would just kind of be like, you deserved it, the kind of thing. And it was like, okay, like that's fine, like you can feel that way, but like wait till mom gets home and I tell her. And like,
so you had somebody, so you were talking about it at home.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, my mom wouldn't always believe me because my dad and I had that like relationship where my mom and I like were super close knit, and my mom just kind of thought that I wanted him to be the bad guy, and like didn't believe that was going on because she didn't see it. And I just...
So it sounds like maybe there was more going on than just what you were going through.
For sure. Too. Yeah, and I just now thinking back, I'm just like I know I shouldn't like blame myself for anyone divorcing, but I'm just like, I think in my mind, like, was I a reason? Like it might have not been the main reason, but like, was that a reason he left? Like, was that a reason like he considered like leaving because I didn't fit his mold, and like he didn't want to deal with like this, like, I don't know how to word it, like this son that he didn't didn't fit his mold. Like he would like buy me like blue clothes and like baseball like stuff, and like put me in baseball and put me in softball and put me in wrestling and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm good, like I'm bored. Like I would like, he put me in like karate, and I was like, this isn't fun, like,
right.
And it's like,
do you feel like he had an expectation for you then?
Yeah, like definitely, like he wanted to be able to be proud of me, and he wasn't proud of me when I did that kind of
because he had an expectation.
Yeah.
For
and like I have never ever heard like, I'm proud of you, son, from my dad, ever. And like recently, like I posted like a picture on Facebook of like I updated my profile picture of like me and my boyfriend, and like I get a call from my dad. He was like, "Why am I seeing this shit? Like, why is this on your Facebook? Like, your whole family's gonna fucking see that. Like, that's gross. Like, all this shit." And I'm just like, like I really don't have time for your mind right now. Like, go handle your shit, and like I really don't have time for that. And it's like I'm tired of trying to keep up a relationship with someone that's their mindset. It could be, like I don't necessarily approve of that, son, but I'm happy for you. That's what I want to hear. Like
I love that.
And it's like I'm kind of in my mind like F you. Like, like I'm sorry that you're like 50 years old and like you're so like miserable that you're gonna like tell your son what's right and wrong. Like you lost that card when you left at 8 years old.
Right. It's really hard to sometimes when, you're longing for a specific answer.
Right.
But like in life, sometimes we just don't get that because again, like we don't have control over others, just like your father doesn't have control over who you are, which is why it's so good to not have any expectations over anybody, regardless of the role. It's
Right.
like, it's like, yeah, the moment that, you bear a child, you cannot expect them to be what you are envisioning because they are their own individuals, separate from you.
And maybe when I'm like your son's though, maybe like when I'm like in the household, I feel like he could have gone about it a very different way. Like
you deserved that at the very
like
least.
speak with me, say like, hey son, like why doesn't this interest you? Like I want to figure it out. Like
just taking time to talk to you and understand you. It sounds like
what's going on. Like you're like I did not know like I was gay until 8th grade. Like I didn't even know what gay was until 8th grade, and I was just like, Dad, I'm just being me. Like I don't know what your problem is, but he's like very machismo, like tattooed up, like like wants it his way. And with me, I'm just kind of like, I don't know like why I'm disappointing you so much. Like, can you please tell me? Like, can you tell me what's going on? And it would always just be like you disgust me and like stuff like that. Like, and I'm just like, why? Like, why? Like, I shouldn't have wanted an explanation so much. Like, it didn't really matter, but like once he left, I like realized like, okay, like I don't think I was the reason he left. Like for sure. Like I know I'm not. Like there was of course a lot of like relationship stuff going on and like people divorced for reasons,
their own right apart from their children.
But
Absolutely.
it's just like he loves my sister so much because she's like the perfect girly girl, like daddy's girl, like loves my dad. But as soon as my sister was disappointed so many times, it was like, I'm done with you. Like
your sister was too?
Yeah, my sister was done with my dad. Like done. Like I think like once she realized he was done with him, like she was like, you know what? Like I don't need this. Like I don't need this,
So it sounds like maybe there's just something, within your dad that he has not been aware of to work on for himself. And what happens is when you don't heal yourself and, you have kids or even anyone else in your relationships, that ends up coming through in the way that you speak to people, in the way that you treat people. And I mean, I thank you for speaking this truth because I know for a fact that you are not the only person in the LGBTQ community who has suffered from, mistreatment from parents.
Right.
So it's very important to understand that it's not anything that you did specifically, but it's just people not expanding their own minds to really understand. And unfortunately that happens in family homes, and it goes back to like even politics and religion and there's just so many things which I feel like are tools to help us understand each other because it's all there for a reason. There's so many different pieces of material that help mold us into who we are, but when we stay stuck in our own one belief and it has to be this way, and then someone so close to you, even who's a piece of you like your dad, when they are not aware, accepting of all of those other things, all those other aspects and those possibilities of what a human can be, there becomes a wall, it's like a block. And that's where even the mistreatment comes from. It's a misunderstanding, and that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with you personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I think, the belief system and even the acceptance of that. And it's such a struggle, you know? That's a struggle because I'm sure that, you know, you had enough going on at home by not being understood, and then you go to school and you are dealing with the bullying, right? And you brought your statistics today. So what were the statistics on bullying, and then the statistics on bullying for the LGBTQ community in its own?
Let me pull them up. So they're kind of shocking. I know you and I went over them, but so it's over 50%. It's 52% of LGBTQ people enrolled in middle and high school reported either electronic or in-person bullying.
Wow.
And then it's 1 in 3 said they're bullied in person, which includes at school, on the way to school, at work, or at parties, while 42% experience electronic bullying, including online or text message bullying. The Trevor Project found that bullying was reported by 65% of LGBTQ middle school respondents, while 49% of high school respondents reported bullying. Within the LGBTQ community, 61% of transgender and non-binary students reported bullying, compared to their cisgender peers at 45%.
Wow. That's a big gap.
Yeah. And it's, you know, like, it's not just because you're LGBTQ. Like, straight people get bullied, you know, like...
Right. I mean, I got bullied.
Right.
I identify as straight most of the time. No kidding. but no, I mean, honestly, it's, can you imagine though, like a third of your life? Like I started getting bullied, I think it was like 5th grade for me, where it like started, but like middle school was fucking rough. Okay. My grades went down.
Same.
I like fucking threw away my glasses. I like lost them, you know, like it was horrible. I just I plummeted my my education. I feel so far behind because I personally did not want to be bullied, you know. And for me, I didn't go home and tell my family. I didn't go home and tell my mom. Like I was kind of scared of my own mom too. So I just did not have anybody to speak to. I had gum stuck in my hair. I've gotten things thrown at me. I've had rumors said about me. And to think that 1/3 of a person is being impacted negatively, 1/3, that's a lot. I mean, like...
But it's not even that. Like, it's like you go into high school, you go into... Like, I've been bullied at work, like, for, like, my sexuality. And I'm just like, what was the reason? Like, to bully me? But it's just... It's tough because, you know, like, I was bullied since kindergarten. And then in, like... middle school, like from kindergarten through 5th grade, like I was a straight A student, like gold reading, like always brought A's home. Like literally my grandpa would give me, like, I think he gave me like $20 for every A, and like back then, and like my mom gave me $20 for every A. So I was like, yeah, motivated by money. Sorry, I was a kid. I was like, $20, damn, that's like $1,000 when you're a kid. But and then when I got into middle school is when it got bad. It's when
middle school sucks.
It's when it got bad. And like it's sad because my sister's a year behind me, and I kind of always had like my sister sticking up for me. I know it's supposed to be the other way around, like you're supposed to stick up for your little sister, and I did, of course. But like her and I were always in the same school. But the thing is, it was always, aren't you like your sister's brother? Like it's never like, aren't you Cameron? It's like, aren't you like blah blah blah's brother? I don't want to say her name because like don't want to bring her into this.
Sure.
But like, you know, like, aren't you her brother? And I'm just like, yeah, I am. But that's when my mom started noticing is middle school.
Okay.
Because I started wearing all black. I wore black hoodies. I stopped wearing my glasses. I, you know, like lost a lot of weight. Like I, you know, like I have pictures in here I can show you. But I reinvented myself in a way. And then all my grades went to F's, like, and in middle school,
reinvented yourself in a way
in
to
a negative
protect
way,
yourself,
in a negative way to protect myself.
Absolutely.
In middle school, you don't fail. I don't know if people know that, but you don't fail.
You just keep going.
You just keep going. Like you can get all F's, but it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you don't, I'm sorry, like, I shouldn't be saying this if there's, like, middle schoolers watching this or parents watching this, but you can fail every fucking middle school class and you're good.
Keep going,
yeah. You can keep going.
No, it's important.
Like, you'll just have to have your mom sign a little form, sign it yourself, you're good. But, like...
sign it yourself, oh my God, memories.
Just saying. One time my mom actually signed the permission slip and they're like, oh, how many of these has she not signed? Yeah, so it was just like... Anyways,
I used to sit there and wonder, how do they know?
How do they know? Right. Just like, why does it matter? Let me go to Legoland. God. But, it, you know, like in my mom's, that's when my mom started noticing because I started self-harming. I started losing a bunch of weight. I dropped out of choir. I dropped out of dance. I dropped out of theater. I dropped out of all my extracurriculars. I was like 6th grade. And I, you know, withdrew from all my friends. I told my mom, you can have my phone. I don't need it because I was being cyberbullied. And I literally just gave my, like, iPhone, I think it was like an iPhone 4 or something. It doesn't matter.
To look at it.
But I literally just said, here, Mom, turn it off. Like, just have it. Just fucking have it. And, like, my sister's like, why? Like, don't you want your phone? Like, it was a Christmas present. Like, it's great. Like, keep it. I'm like, no. Like, if you want it, you can have it. Like, I don't want this anymore. Like, I was like, take it.
And that could also be, like, a narrative shift there, too, of, like, your parents or whoever, your family being like, oh, you're so ungrateful. But really, it was a cry for help because you didn't even want to see what was happening
and that's
online.
That's when my mom was like, you know, at first she was like, you're so ungrateful. Like, I buy you a brand new phone and you don't even want it anymore. Like, you need to keep it for safety. And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, just get me a flip phone that you can call and text me on. I don't want this, like, internet anymore. I don't want Instagram. I don't want Snapchat. I don't want any of this. Never happened. I never went through with it. I was like, because my mom realized, she was like, she came in my room, shut my door, and she was like, why don't you want your phone anymore? I'm like, I just don't. Like, I, like, shut down. I was like, I don't want it. And she was like, show me your phone, like, unlock it. And that's when she went on Instagram. That's when she went on Snapchat and Facebook and all of my stuff and saw how bullied I was being. Like, and it wasn't like people commenting because I didn't post anything, but it was just people messaging me and saying nasty things.
Going out of their way.
And going out of their way to, like, find my social media and say mean things. And I just remember... that was, like, right before, like, 6th grade, like, ended. And then I went into 7th grade. And I was like, you know, like, I'm going to try again. You know, I'm going to make this a great year. I'm going to try again. I'm going to, you know, wear a nice outfit. I'm going to, you know, like, first day of school, like, restart. First day of school, I had someone throw a milkshake on me. First day of school, like, milkshake, 8 a.m. As I'm walking in the gate to school, just someone throw it on me. I'm like, all right, great. Had to go change into my PE clothes for the first day of school. That was fun.
Nobody likes PE clothes.
What?
Nobody likes PE
and, like,
clothes.
especially after I spent, like, my mom spent so much money on, like, my first day outfit.
Yeah.
And for her to get a call and be, like, she picks me up and she's like, why are you in your PE clothes? And I'm like, oh, like, I just didn't want to change after PE. I wasn't feeling it. And she's like, you know, moms always know. You might think your mom don't know. I know you're a mother. You might think your mom doesn't know and that she doesn't know. But moms just kind of are like, you know what? He doesn't want to tell me. I'm just going to act stupid.
It's an energetic thing. We just know.
So I got home. I, like, tried to sneakily, like, wash my outfit. And she was like, oh, so that makes sense. And then turned into a huge thing. You know, second day. I don't know if you did this, but I had, for my first week, it was I got all new outfits. You know, like, my first 5 days of school, I got new outfits. And, you know, I tried again the next day. And it was a great day. It was great. And then that's when, like, the bullying started. And it started up again. It was PE. It was always PE. And it started slow, you know, like, oh, like, haha, like, so funny, like, you know, like, bullying me, like, in the locker room. And then it turned into my clothes getting flushed down the toilet, people breaking into my locker, people stealing my phone, you know, me getting sprayed with Axe body spray, the worst thing upon middle schoolers that everyone had. It was so nasty.
Yeah, I remember Axe.
Yeah, no, so nasty. But it was, you know, that kind of thing where it just turned into me, like, being bullied every single day. And
so this is my question. What do you feel was the target for your bullying? Because for me, I just felt like it was just I just felt like I looked nerdy, maybe. Like I had glasses. I was like a stick, you know, like I just, and my mom like made me buy like a size larger than I actually was. So it was like, what the fuck? It's just setting me up for failure.
So for me, it was, I went to like, I primarily like Latina dominated middle school.
Okay.
And I don't, you know, like fit in that mold. I was one of the only white kids.
Okay.
There was like 5 there, like 5 white kids, you know, so I was the one of them.
You were one
and
of
then
them.
add on being fat and gay to that, 3, you know, like it's triple thing they can make fun of.
You hadn't come out yet, but you were just very feminine.
So I was very feminine, okay. Choir, dance, theater.
I loved those things. Okay.
You know, like I was kind of like discovering myself in a way. And then I met like...
What a hard time. Yeah. It's like you're discovering yourself and enjoying these things, and then you got to deal with like people making fun of you for it.
Right. Ugh. And I'm just like, okay. And then I met my ex. So I met my ex in 7th grade. The one I talk so fondly about. We love him.
No way.
Yeah. So I
did not know when that far back.
So we met him in 7th grade.
Okay.
I was like set up by, so like my counselor in middle school turned into like my daily therapist. Like I know they're not supposed to do that, but like turned into my daily therapist. So kid transferred from like the other middle school in town, transferred to Del Dios. She's like, can you show him around to his classes? You know, like they do that. Like they put you in the same desk. They set you up. Teachers and counselors do that. If you don't know, they do that.
Yeah.
So I was set up with him. And at first we were just friends, like just like good friends, like, you know, like best friends, like, and it was acceptable because it's 2 guys hanging out, you know, like, and they, you know, like my mom would always be like, no, like you're not going to any girls' houses, but like she let me go to his house, and I'm like,
okay,
little do you know, Mom, little do you know.
Right.
But yeah, so I met him in 7th grade, and he was discovering himself too.
Okay.
One day I get like a message, like a text message, like, do you want to sit at lunch with me? And I'm like, yeah, sure, like that's fine, like we can sit at lunch. And then it just kind of blossomed from there. Like it just like became like a relationship. And then just one day I get a text, he's like, I'm transferring back to my old school, you're never gonna see me again. I'm like, okay, cool. But then it turned into like us like hanging out and like talking, and then I like talked to my mom, and like I realized, okay, you're gay, Cameron, you're gay. Sorry about it, but
so was it like 7th grade, 8th grade?
It was like end of 7th grade. Okay. So then I went into 8th grade. I did the pivotal gay moment, bleach your hair, paint your nails.
Yeah.
Went into 8th grade, you know, nice outfit, bleach your hair, paint your nails. And
yeah, so you kind of owned it by 8th grade.
I owned it, but I did not know what I was getting myself into.
Oh, shit.
So that's when, like, I started getting my ass kicked every day. That's when I started, you know, getting screamed, like, the F slur every day, you know, and, like, it's like, what did I do? Like, should have just, like, kept it, you know, like, I shouldn't have done this kind of thing. So I literally went home.
That's backwards to make somebody feel like they have to take a step back within themselves.
So I literally went home. I said, Mom, like, fix my hair. Like, take this off. Like, take my nails off. Like, fix my hair. Like, I need new clothes. Like, and then I did the same fucking thing I did 6th grade. I started, you know, like, going reserved back. I took a step back. Like, I was like...
It's like a little cycle for you. Whoa.
And then last month of, like, 8th grade, I was kind of like, F you. Like, I bleached my hair again. Bleached my hair again the day before my graduation. Just to kind of, like, you know, like, subtly, like, F you guys. Like, I'm out of here kind of thing. Painted my nails. And then I realized, fuck, high school. 90% of that school, that middle school, went to my new high school.
Okay.
It's like, fuck, I'm going to have to see these people again.
The pool's much larger, though, in high school. So how did that transition for you?
So it was great. You know, it was kind of like maturing. But I, you know, joined like the choir there. Like I did not have really any friends. Like I was very reserved.
You think that was because of what you had already previously been through, or you're just kind of carrying
But it was also kind of like a reinvention. Like,
okay.
I was kind of like bummed that like people still knew me kind of thing. I was like wanting that like reinvention, fresh start kind of thing. But, you know, like it was the good ones that transferred to my school, like transferred to my high school. I'm still friends with like some of them to this day.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but
I think I have one friend from high school.
yeah, no, like I have a few friends from high school still. Obviously not a lot of them, but I still have a few.
Yeah.
But, you know, like that's when, you know, like that's when it got like serious. Like seniors started picking on me in the locker room. You know, like I started not dressing out for PE and just wearing like my street clothes. And like in high school, that was like part of your grade for the day. And I was like, screw you, I don't care. Like I'm not doing that. And I like grew a backbone. Like I grew a backbone in 9th grade. I was like, I'm not dressing out. I'm not doing that. Sorry.
So did your first boyfriend, did he go to that same school in high school?
No. Like we stopped talking for a minute. Like
how long?
We like from like when he transferred. Blooper reel. When he transferred, we stopped talking for a minute. Like we like ended things, like blocked each other on things.
Blocked.
And, yeah, like blocked. And then like
y'all were toxic, huh?
Girl, you don't know the half of it. But so 8th grade, like we didn't talk. 9th grade, middle of 9th grade, he unblocks me. He messages me. We hang out.
Okay.
We start a relationship. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we start hanging out, talking. You know, things like that. I was with him from 9th grade through I think 11th grade, but you know, like we were in a 3-year relationship.
Okay.
But it was always toxic.
So having a couple there, did that strengthen it, or did it make the bullying worse?
It made it worse.
And did you guys kind of bully back and forth too?
No.
That's a big... Okay, that didn't happen.
No, but we were in like a 3-year off and on, like toxic, like gross relationship.
Do you think maybe it was toxic partially because maybe you both were also being bullied?
Yeah, I think so. And like
holding on to that negativity will fuck up your shit.
For sure.
Know?
And then 10th grade went by, just kind of like, I don't know, like 10th grade wasn't really memorable for me. Like I dropped out of choir like that year. I just kind of like, you know, like kept to myself, just got my shit done. 11th grade, first day of school, I had hot pink hair, like a really like nice outfit. I had like my car, like it was like, oh, I'm driving now, that whole kind of thing.
Right. That kind of like ego thing was kicking in.
That ego thing was kicking in. I became the person I did not want to become.
Okay. So is that when maybe you started did you bully anybody?
No.
Or did you just protect against like...
I just kind of like protected myself and became like a cold hard bitch.
Like when you needed to kind of speak up for yourself, you started to. Okay, yeah.
I was the one that you like, you know, those like, what did you first think of me when you met me? Like those questions. You were a bitch, but then I found out you're nice. Like that's like what everyone says about me. Even at work, really cool. Like people say that, like you were a bitch at first, but I like you now. Like, you know, like that's who I was back then.
It filters out, so
for sure
you don't need anyway.
And then like, this might be like deep, but I had like some like sexual assault happen that year.
Oh my gosh, in high school.
In high school, yeah. So like 11th grade, like that happened. And this is where it gets messy. So the one that like did that to me, he had a girlfriend. Girlfriend accused me of doing what he did to me to her to like protect him. And like literally the vice principal laughed in her fucking face.
Dude, this is some euphoria
shit right now. Yeah.
Holy
so
fuck.
Like got accused of that. And I'm like, girl, like I wouldn't get near you if I was paid like $1,000. Vice principal laughed in her face. He's like,
yeah,
like girl, he's clearly gay. Come on now, kind of thing. And I never told like anyone like why it happened or like the behind the scenes, like never really told anyone like that kind of aspect. Like besides you, like I've never really told anyone like what went on. But that was like a major reason of me like transferring. I was like, I don't want to fucking look at you every day. Like I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be around your girlfriend. I don't want to be around people thinking... Because her friends started believing that I did that. And I'm like...
Yeah, and
I was
that's
like,
a trickling effect. That's
girl,
how
yeah.
rumors start.
And like, I was literally kicked out of choir because of that, because she was in fucking choir and the choir director believed her.
Oh my god.
I was literally kicked out of theater because she was in theater. The theater director believed her. Like, I'm like, if any of you really believe that I got near her, like, more than a hug, like, come on.
So, yeah, I can totally see how that would fuck up your energy.
And, like,
for
my mom was
sure.
kind of like, get the fuck out of there. Like,
Okay, so your mom
my mom,
was
like,
aware
was
of what
always
was happening, and
my mom's always on my side. I'm sorry. Like, I might make some fucked up decisions. Who doesn't? But my mom was always on my side.
That's really big to emphasize. Who doesn't fuck up? I mean, come on.
For sure, like...
We're all about accountability in 2022, okay?
Right, but it's like... I might have made some fucked up decisions. I might have cheated on a Spanish test here and there. You know, like, I might have, you know, been a bitch to someone here or there. I might have called out a teacher on their shit here and there. But... my mom was always on my side, and my mom knew who I was, and my mom knew that I couldn't do that.
Well, and also, like, I feel like what you were going through, because that's one big thing that teachers, parents, you know, people who don't really know you will, like, kind of overlook is that, like, and this is not enabling at all. It's important to still have accountability, like you were just saying, but it's like... you gotta consider what the fuck somebody is going through that is making them act out in this way.
Right.
And, like, sometimes you don't get those answers later in life. Like, you don't see that. Some people don't know how to, you know, even find that awareness of themselves and go back the way that you're doing right now. So many people cannot do that. And you can only meet somebody as deep as they meet themselves.
Right.
So I think it's beautiful that you're kind of diving into your wounds and, like, healing them along the way. You know what I mean?
For sure. And I'm just kind of, like, in the mindset of, like, I'm glad that happened.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm glad I got the fuck out of that school. And for that to happen, granted, like, I don't want anyone to think of me that way, and some people might see me that way, and some people might think of me, you know, as that person that I used to be, and that's, like, fine. It's not fine. You know, I don't know why I'm saying it's fine, but that's okay if they, you know, think of me that way. But the people that matter to me in my life right now at this moment know that I am never going to be that person again, and that I'm not capable of being that person again anymore. And
so were you, like, did you lash out after all those allegations?
I did. Yeah. So that was a reason that my ex and I broke up.
Oh, interesting. Now, did he believe that?
No, but, like, since that happened to me, I didn't want to be with him that way. And, like, he started cheating on me and, like, cheated on me with, like, someone and, like...
Do you think maybe you were depressed? Or, like, what was your reason for that?
So, I ended up in a mental hospital for, like, the 3-day Grippy stock vacation stay, whatever you want to call it.
Totally. When somebody is accusing you of something that heavy, of course, I understand.
I wasn't good, but I lied and said, you know, I'm fine, like, I'm great, like, the treatment worked, like, get me the fuck out of here. Not even a month later, I ended up in another mental hospital, 14-day stay.
Fuck.
2-week stay. And then I stayed in a 2-week group home.
Shit.
So I was gone from school for a month. That was my junior year. I was gone from school for a month. And that was, like, another reason, like, I was, like, I missed a month of school, you know, like, that does shit to your grades. So I failed, like, I was failing all my classes. So they're like, you know, like, either you can work your ass off and get, like, your grades back up, or, like, you can transfer. And I'm like, well, 1, I don't want to be here with those two. 2, I don't think I can work that hard. 3, like, I want out of here. And looking back, I'm, like, kind of grateful I went through all that, because it taught me, like, how strong I can be and how strong I am. And it taught me, like, you know, like, granted, like, it wasn't the best feeling, like, it wasn't fun to, like, feel that way or go through all that or have all that happen, but I'm glad I did, and it taught me a lesson that I needed to learn.
Which was?
That, you know, people can narrate you in the way that fits them best, but it doesn't matter. As long as you know, like, who you are, and as long as you have people that know who you truly are in your life, that's what matters.
Your tribe.
Yeah. Like, and it's like, if that makes you feel better about yourself, if that makes you better, you know, if that makes you feel better to think of me that way, do it.
I think what that does when you accuse and, you know, reflect and project, whatever, I think it puts a band-aid over who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really all that they are built up to be,
Mm-hmm.
you know, after so much time is just like a lump of band-aids, you
Right.
know, and like anytime one falls off, it's like, fuck, they gotta cover themselves up somehow
Mm-hmm.
again, and they'll use whatever resources, and sometimes those are people, you know,
Yeah.
vulnerable people, you know, and I hate to say like weak people, but like it's
Mm-hmm.
true. Like if
No.
you're different and you're young like that, you are a target, you
People
know,
are weak, and
especially especially
yeah.
when there's a history of bullying. It's terrible, it's horrible. I don't condone this, but it's just literally a targeting energy, you know. The perfect narcissist is going to associate you with blame and
Mm-hmm.
an easy cover up, and I have been through that myself, so I understand.
I'm just gonna say this. It might sound fucked up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think everyone at least needs to go through a bullying moment. It really
In some
fucking
form,
changes you.
it does.
It really does. Like, if you've never been bullied, fuck you, honestly, because you don't know how I feel. You don't know how you feel. You don't know how anyone feels that's been
It's
through
true.
bullying. You know, if your life was perfect TV show material, great, good for you. But bullying makes you realize that what they say doesn't matter. It makes you look at yourself. It makes you evaluate yourself. It makes you realize that you're the only one that's going to be there for yourself. And everyone's opinions of you doesn't matter. And you know, they can feel that way. They can reflect however they want to feel. They can put that on you. But I saw something. You're not responsible to maintain someone's image or view of you.
Fuck yeah,
You're not.
absolutely.
I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna keep up and be the narrative you have of me in your mind. Change with me or be gone.
Good. Just shake it off. It's like a
Yeah.
snake of shedding, you know?
No, yeah, and it's
they
like
say when you see a snake, too, like the
Yeah.
spiritual meaning of that is you're just like literally transforming. You're shedding
right,
that old version.
right, and
off.
it's like I've always changed to like be there for others, and like I've realized that it's like you can change for me. Like someone should want to change for me. Someone should want to be there for me. Someone should want to, you know, feel a certain way about me. And it's like I'm a people pleaser. You know that. Like you know that. Like anyone that works with me, anyone that's my friend knows I'm a people pleaser. I will drop whatever I'm doing. Like I will be there for you. Like, and it's hard for me to do that. Like it's hard for me to say no. But like recently, I've just been saying I'm sorry no. Like I'm sorry no, because I need to put me first. Like I need to.
Good.
And it's like that narrative shift, like you said. It's like I need to put me first. You know, it's just it's funny to me that like for the past 2 years I've been this like people pleaser, and I'm just like ew, like why, like
I would like to point out, too, gosh, who was it? I think it was Maya Angelou. There's a beautiful quote from her that says something along the lines of, people will not remember what you say to them. People will remember the way that you make them feel.
right,
And a great example with that also is like when you go to a restaurant and the food sucks, you are going to remember that terrible experience and you're going to tell everybody, correct? So it's like, okay, well, that is the respect that we should be holding each other up to is, are you going to be that bad experience for somebody and like risk, you know? And again, we are only human. We all make mistakes. I fuck up, trust me.
right. Who
I fucked
doesn't?
up this week.
Same.
We do it, you know, it's the human experience, but it's so important to just hold on to the effort of trying to communicate yourself and like your true authentic feelings, not just anger, because anger is a secondary emotion, right?
Right.
To get your point across and also like to protect yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so, especially for people who are people pleasers, because I feel like that's something that I am also working on myself too. Had it the case of like people pleasing syndrome, that's so bad,
Right.
terrible, and I was miserable inside
Same.
like
Like
a few
I've
years
been
ago.
miserable for the past 2 years.
That, and it's so important to prioritize yourself in that way, you know, especially when you feel like what you are putting in is not being reciprocated. And sometimes, you know, because again, we can't control others, but sometimes that's a sign, a flag for yourself, like, okay, I'm doing too much, I need to go back in my bubble and give myself what I want from this other person, because clearly I can't force them to do it, so I gotta just do it for myself. You know, sometimes you just gotta be down for yourself in that way,
Right.
even when you don't want it, even when you want somebody else to like do that thing for you. You know, it's like you be thinking about something and you're like, god damn, why don't you just want to do this for me? But
Right.
if that's what you want to do, if that's what you want so bad, do that shit for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
just do it.
at the end of the day, like, everyone could block you. At the end of the day,
Yeah, anyone can cut you
like,
off or ignore you when it's convenient.
At the end of the day,
Anyone can do
tomorrow,
that.
like, all the people in your phone could be gone.
Oh yeah.
All the people at work
Oh,
could be
yeah.
gone. You know, like, at the end of the day, you only have you. And, like,
It's so
I think
true.
that we've gotten a little too comfortable with relying on others for happiness. I'm not coming for you. I'm just saying, like,
It's
everyone,
so
in,
true.
like, everyone in the world, I feel like we've all just, you know, like, put ourselves into other people and, like, relied on them for happiness, and it needs to change.
It's easy to do that though,
Right.
because I
No,
feel
for
like
sure.
society definitely like
sure.
supports codependency in a
Yeah.
weird way. Like if you think about like, I mean, I had a horrible marriage experience, but like marriages, you know, it's like I expect you to like be this for me and make me happy, but it's like no, like you gotta do it for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. Because we cannot control people, and like
Yeah.
a lot of the time when you feel like unsafe in your own environment back in like childhood, like that's how you make yourself comfortable, is by like controlling everything around you. And sometimes it kind of falls into, you know, people too. You try to do things to control them to do things that you want done for you, and it's like it's a cycle, it's another cycle, you know what I mean? And it's so important because we will always, if it's conditioned within us, if it's part of our childhood, it's gonna come back to us. It always comes back around. But if we have that awareness, we can catch ourselves a little bit quicker, we can get back up a little bit faster, and just do what you gotta do for yourself. You know what I mean? It's easy. Again,
It's easier
how
said
did
than
I
done.
start this? Yeah, I said
Yeah.
so much easier said than done,
Yeah.
and it really fucking
It
is.
is.
But
People pick up on it, though. Like, people
energy's contagious. For
Yeah,
sure.
energy's very contagious, and people can pick up on when you're struggling and tell them.
Yeah,
Tell them. Like, if you're not fine, tell them.
yeah, totally.
Like, if someone asks you, like, are you okay? And you're, like, wanting to cry and let it out, let it out.
Yeah, for sure.
And, like, I feel like we've all gotten this, like, in this mindset that you have to say, I'm fine, I'm great, I'm doing good.
right.
Tell people when you're fucking dying inside.
I know. I hate the small talk. How are you? It's like fuck.
It's like, no.
I
like,
want to cry. Do
no,
you
like-
want to hear it? No,
Like, I want to cry and talk about the universe and aliens. Like, are you down for it? Like I don't want to sit here and be like, I'm fine, the weather's so beautiful outside, it's
know.
great. Like, no. Like, I've started recently, like, to tell, like, people, like, I'm not doing so great, like, you know? And it's like, oh, like, I didn't know you were feeling this way. And I'm like, yeah, no one did.
Yep. It's
Like,
so good to do that.
Sometimes you don't even know you're feeling that way.
Yeah.
Until someone asks you, like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? And, like, that can be the moment where you just break.
Yeah.
When I'm
realize
sure
you're in a
you've
funk.
experienced that, where, like, a client or, like, you know, a coworker's like, oh, like, are you okay? And you're like, I'm fine. And it's like, you're not fine. Like, what's wrong? And you just break.
Yes.
I feel like we've all
Yes.
put up this shell of, like,
There's a coworker in my work who always knows when my energy's off, and then
Yeah.
he'll text me later, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel seen.
I think I know who you're talking about, but he does it to me too. like,
Right?
and I'm like, shut up. But it's like, just let people in. That's like my main thing. It's just like, if you don't let someone in, they're not going to be able to help you. And you can't
Totally.
expect people to be mind readers. You can't expect someone, when you say I'm fine, some people know you're not and they just don't want to push you. So just tell them. Just like,
Right.
be like, you know, like, I'm okay, I'm not doing so great. Like, I could really use a hug. Or like, I could use, you know, like I could use someone to talk to, you know, like.
Yeah.
I've recently, like, started telling coworkers, like, text me if you need anything, call me if you need me, because at the long run, like, we're all people. Like, we're all humans. We all break. We all shed tears. We all cry. We're all, you know, we all bleed, you know? It's like, if you're going through something, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, and the real ones will care and help you through it.
Exactly.
And if they don't, you know what, like, okay, so sorry to bother you, have a great day, you know, kind of thing.
That's beautiful.
But recently, like, I've been telling my friends, like, You know, like, I'm tired of, like, saying, I'm great, thank you for asking. Like, my boyfriend, too, like, he'll text me, like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm great. And he's like, babe. And I'm like, but it's just, like, people know when you're, like, going through it. People really know, like, when you're struggling. And you have to let them in, you know? We've been conditioned not to pressure people into telling us how they're feeling, so you know, we can't do anything for you unless you tell us.
And you'd be amazed to see the way somebody carries himself when they have that much to carry.
Right.
And it's like, if
Us
you just
too.
speak
Like,
it, you
anyone, like, anyone, and it's
like, wow,
we've all lost sympathy for each other. I've really noticed that, you know, like,
I would call it compassion.
Yeah, sympathy and, like, compassion. We've all lost compassion for each other, you know, like.
And another thing, too, especially, like, coming from a place of already experiencing bullying, like, we can preach this whole, like, you know, be kind and, you know, be mindful.
Right.
And it's encouraging, you know, but the reality of the situation is that there's always people who, you know, have not met themselves on a certain level.
For sure.
And so when you do experience assholes, you know, it's important to see them as somebody who clearly is not doing the work for themselves. And sometimes that's it. That's all it has to be. And you just leave that shit with them. You know what I mean?
Well, I told a certain coworker, I'm sure you can think of the coworker. I was like, I've been bullied since I was 5 years old. I don't need to come and work and be bullied too.
Right.
I'm sorry, but, like, girl, like, I don't have time for you. Like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. I really don't care about that or that or that.
Right.
You know, like, figure it out.
Yeah, and
we're
a lot
all
of the
adults.
times, you know, in certain situations like that, it's like you are not going to understand the depths of that specific person. It's you just can't.
No, but like you coming into work and screaming at me over something I can't control, like, I'm sorry. Like, I've literally just been like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all you can say.
And it's just like,
and like, protect.
For sure.
When things like that happen, you gotta protect your energy.
No, for sure.
And sometimes if you feel harassed, well, for myself at least, like, if you feel like that energy, like, kind of clinging to you, like, sometimes you gotta, like, bring out some fire, you know? Give a little pushback. Nothing crazy.
No.
Nothing crazy.
No.
But it's just like, you know what? I cannot do this today. You know?
Yeah, no, I've done that. Like,
firm,
I literally was like,
I'm not.
I lost
doing
it.
this.
I lost it. I was like on the phone with a client. I was like, ma'am, I'm like, frankly, like, I'll just have you speak to my manager because there's not much I can do to make you happy at this point. And I'm just, I'm tired of trying to, like, take care of everyone else. It's time, like, for you to, it's time for us to take care of Cameron. It's time for us to take care of Lanice. It's time for everyone in the world to just take care of you. And that's not being selfish. That's not, I know you might, in your mind, be like, well, that's so selfish. Like, what about other people? No.
I am in a relationship with Lanice this year.
Exactly. No, like, this year,
you know
like,
what I mean?
For real. Like, it's like, fuck everyone else. Like, not like be like rude or bitchy to anyone, but it's just like,
never.
No, not that. It's just saying, like, you need to shift that mindset. Like, you don't need anyone else to make you happy. Great. It's like, it's lovely to be in a relationship. It's lovely to have friendships. But like we said, at the end of the day, you go to bed with yourself.
It's so true.
Like, you go to bed with yourself, and it's so like,
true.
We all, like, have gotten so codependent on everyone, and it's like, no.
It's so true. And I feel like, too, like you were saying, like, on the phone, people be yelling at you. Like, it's so much easier to, like, be nasty and mean when it's indirect.
For sure.
Phone, social media, like, even just on the phone, like, speaking on the phone, like, text message. It's so easy to be nasty. And, like, I feel like the worst, well, I don't know. Recently, the worst shit that I've endured has always been, like, through my phone. Like, people can say things and it's like, it's permanent, it's there, I can look back at it. As terrible as I know it is for me, I can read it a million times and, like, that's just not
I'd much rather someone say something mean to my face and, like, shake it off than, like, me looking on Facebook and being like, oh, like,
you're just, like, sitting
there, like, staring at it, like, looking at it every day. Like, I'm just like, I miss those day and ages where it was like, you're fat, and then it's like, fuck you, and then you move on.
You just keep walking,
It's like, you move on, like,
for sure.
Now it's like, on that phone forever.
You would look back
and
at
it's like, you don't know me.
Yeah.
Like, you don't fucking know me. Like, strangers on TikTok, strangers on Instagram. Like, it's like, you don't know me. Like, is your life really that bad that you need to come at me right now? Like, you don't
clear. It must. We
No,
just
for
have to
sure.
stick with that. It must be.
It must be that
you know what
bad,
I
you know?
mean? Yeah.
But it's like, we've all gotten a little... We've gotten a little too secure on social media, you know?
It's horrendous.
It's
the way
it's really
people
bad.
see
Like,
each
it's
other
it's really bad. Like,
sometimes.
if you look at social media, like, it's really bad. And it's
Yeah.
like, there's
That's
like...
why, like, I'm trying to just like only be on there when it feels necessary.
Mhm.
You know, and like, well, even when I'm going through shit, of course, everybody wants to show their best self. So like, I won't fake it. Like, I will stay off if I know that I'm not feeling right. You know,
Something I
just
saw
will.
today was so funny. It's like, girl, you don't need to announce every time you're gonna go off social media. You'll be right back on tomorrow. Like,
It's so true.
it's so fucking
Don't
true.
even
Like, it's
bother.
literally so funny. Like, it's
There's
like
enough shit on everybody's phone that I'm pretty sure they're not thinking about it unless it's like someone.
there's
real
like a
close.
saying. There's a saying you have. It's like something in silence. What do you say? It's like do better. I remember you said it like last month. It was
Did
like
I? Oh my god.
fuck. It's
I
like
remembered.
yeah, I remembered it, but I like can't remember it word
Probably
for word.
wrote it down.
But
Somewhere.
it's like do better in silence or something like that. It's like no one really. I'm sorry, but everyone's tapping through your Instagram story. Everyone's tapping through your Snapchat story. They look at it, and I'm sorry, no one really gives a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck that your dog shit on your floor this morning. I don't give a fuck that you
It's
spilled
so
your
funny.
coffee on yourself. Like, I'm sorry, but it's
But what
like,
that is, what it really is what I'm starting to, at least what I envision for my own thing is it's like my diary. Like,
for sure, but when it's every day, like, come on, like,
well, it depends. Like, yeah, it's like
not
what
you, like
wanna
yours.
share.
Yours are like real. Like yours are fucking. Like I'm like, okay,
I'm
Lenise.
trying.
Like, there's a difference between like being real and like showing it versus like, oh my dog shit. I'm gonna turn my ring light on. I'm gonna like open my curtains. I'm gonna make it pretty and like post that. It's like, there's no one like. There's people that are genuine on social media, but
Sure.
I haven't seen a lot of genuine people recently. It's like
The thing though, I mean, we can even sit here and say I'm so, like positive or whatever, but the truth is, like, you really don't know somebody.
right
I could be a bitch in real life. I don't think that I am, but
when you need to be,
the
but
point,
everyone needs to be a bitch
yeah,
sometimes. Come on.
definitely. I
Yeah.
work on that, but like the fact of the matter is, like, what I'm seeing, what I'm observing of is like everybody wants to be perceived right to a certain standard of most, like, great, popular, talented, skilled, like everything great. So that's what we show, right? But like everybody is doing that. And then what is, like, Bill Cosby ended up being a fucking weirdo.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you just don't know people, and that's one big reason why I don't like to post my kids on social media, because I don't fucking know all, like, 1,000 whatever of you. I just
don't post your fucking kids. If it's like, oh, my baby's first day of school, great. But don't fucking post your kids.
Me, I'm not okay with it.
No,
To
like,
each their own.
no, for sure. I'm just saying, like, great. If you want to post your kids, my baby's first day of school, great. But the thing you posted the other fucking day scared the fucking shit out of me.
Me too.
I don't know if any of you might have her on social media, but she posted this thing where it was like, this guy got close to the mom to get close to the kids because he saw the kids on her social media and wanted the kids.
Fucking weirdos.
Fucking weirdos out in the world. It's not don't trust anyone, but be careful who you fucking trust.
Yeah, like,
They're
take
like
your time.
dating
Take your
apps,
time.
like getting to where I am right now. Those people on the fucking dating apps are scary, man.
I know.
Like, I wake up and I'm like glad that wasn't me. Like, people like get lured to dates and like get like their bodies chopped up or like shit like this, and I'm like, girl, I'm glad I didn't go on that date. Like, you have to be careful who you're trusting. Like, even applying to jobs right now. I know everyone wants a job, but make sure you're not looking for jobs on Craigslist. That's all I'm going to say. Like, no, I've seen stories online where it's like people are looking for jobs on Craigslist. They go to be like a personal nanny and they get killed. It's just...
I mean, look what happened when what was it? Did you see the documentary, Don't Fuck With Cats?
Yeah.
The guy it wasn't for a job, or was it like an escorting job?
I think it was like an escorting job, yeah.
Yeah, and he met up with the guy and he fucking chopped him up and put that shit on YouTube.
Yeah, it's just...
Craigslist.
Yeah, like, be careful, like... Be careful on social media. We've all gotten a little too comfortable on our phones.
I don't like to post, like, where I'm at when I'm there.
Nope.
Like,
post it later.
I've learned the hard way.
Nope.
Literally, I've had people
and
follow
like you
me.
and I have had like toxic relationships and toxic men where we've gotten conditioned to like don't give someone your fucking location. Don't tell them where you are.
Is it a coincidence that we're both people pleasing?
No.
People pleasing people.
I don't
feel
think
like we're just so fucking nice.
We're just nice, but like I feel like when you go through that like toxic relationship, you're so used to like pleasing that person that like it translates to friendships, it translates to new relationships because that's what you're used to.
Totally.
And you just have to break that fucking cycle.
Totally.
You have to protect your energy.
So slow.
No, that was fine. Like totally.
I can like feel my upper lip
like,
snarling.
I can feel it, like yeah, literally. But you just have to like protect your energy and protect your soul.
Yeah.
And like just be safe.
Yeah, be safe. And like maybe this is my trust issues being loud right now and proud, but like don't fucking trust anybody.
Nope.
Don't.
And it's like you can trust
circle,
like keep your fucking circle small.
Like this.
Like you can let new people into your life slowly. Close yourself off, close it down, like because at the end of the day, like you don't know that person.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, like I was just telling one of my girlfriends who lost someone close to her, like you know, you could think you know somebody, you know, but the truth is, like, we barely, like, I am still learning who I am, you know what I mean? So it's like, so for you to think you know someone so well, like, the truth is you fucking don't.
And
like,
you may know a version of that person.
Versions.
Like, you know versions of that person.
Totally. But on the depth.
Every day every day someone's growing. Like, every day you're a new Lanice.
Yeah.
Every day I'm a new Cam. Like,
literally every day.
You're not there with me by my side every minute. You don't know what someone said to me at Starbucks this morning. You don't know what I got told at work. You don't know who I am today. And like
what's molding you,
what's molding me. And it's like, granted, like you may think that you know someone, but deep down you don't know all of them. You don't know their family, you don't know their past, you don't know their trauma, you don't know their religious aspects, you don't know anything. And like it's not like any of that like really truly like super matters, but just be safe. That's like
sometimes
the premise.
It does though,
for sure.
Sometimes they be into like chopping up bodies and stuff on the low.
Yeah,
like,
but just be safe.
You just
like
don't know.
Don't go alone places, please, people. Like, I know. Just like if you need to have your friend like sitting in a booth across the lobby, do it. Like, I'm
just gonna say it right now. I have a girlfriend that I trust who has my location at all times, okay?
Right. Same, like, I have people that have my location at all times.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to know, there's a difference between clingy, stalker, creepy shit, and there's a difference between looking out for your friends, looking out for your boyfriend.
Totally.
You know, like, my boyfriend has my location right now, but he's not texting me, like, what are you doing? Where are you? Like, it's just like, are you safe?
Yeah, that's a trust factor, too. Make sure that this person that you're giving your location to isn't cray-cray.
Right. And it's like, it might be super easy to press send my location, but know what the fuck you're getting into.
Totally. You don't want some person pulling up on you, like...
You don't want someone pulling up.
Where are you?
Like, you and I have been through that, where we gave our location to our exes, and they pull up, and you're like, I'm at dinner, but okay.
I know.
Okay. It's embarrassing. Like, once you have that happen to you, it's fucking embarrassing because those friends, that family member, they're not going to want to hang out with you anymore.
Totally.
They're going to see you as Lanice with the crazy boyfriend, Cameron with the crazy boyfriend, you know? They're not going to want to hang out with you. They're not going to want to talk to you anymore because they're scared of your partner. Mm-hmm. And once you tell them, like, oh, like, I broke up with him, they're like, oh, I'm so happy for you. Like, let's hang out. Totally. Because they're fucking scared of that psycho asshole.
It's the energy.
You know?
And that's part of, like, literally what you just explained is literally alignment within yourself. Like, that's what I mean on the spiritual level. Like, when I'm saying, like, aligning with yourself, like, part of that is filtrating out that shit. And that's a perfect fucking example. Like, it's just all language and terminology, but, like, on a very, like, keeping it real level, you just explained what a large impact aligning with yourself and your own energy can do by filtering out those toxic a-holes.
Yeah, and like literally, like I saw my ex at the funeral today, and I just was like, do I like I like wanted to like go over there and say like fuck you, get out, but it's like, you have the right to be here. You know?
Right.
Like,
so what did you really do?
I literally was just like, you know, like, thank you for coming. Like, thank you for paying your respects.
Cool.
Like,
that's cool.
Shook his hand. Like, I hate your guts. But, like...
I love that was on the inside.
Right. Like, I didn't say that. I didn't say, like, fuck you, I hate your guts. But, like, you're always going to have the angel and the devil on your shoulder. 99% of the time, please pick the angel.
Totally.
Please pick the angel, because that wasn't my space to make it about me. That wasn't my right to make it about me. You know, and it's like, great, like, cool, like, you're allowed to be, you know, at the service. But, you know, like, you'll have those thoughts forever. Like, I know, like, if you see your ex at a grocery store, you might have those thoughts, Lenise. Like, I have them, you know, like, you'll have those thoughts forever, and you just have to be like, what do I do in this minute? Don't make any fast decisions, because those can fuck you over in the long run.
Totally.
And, like, another thing, please don't tell people where you work. No, like, sorry, side note, but, like, literally, please don't tell people where you work, because, like, they'll call your work, they'll be psycho, like, they'll show up to your work, and it's like, sometimes you need to cut someone off. I'm sorry, but, like...
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, you know, like, that back of your mind you'll need to cut someone off, and, like, you'll need to be like, bye-bye, but you can't get rid of someone that easily. And I think...
Literally, it's a matter of, like, how many times are you gonna do this? You know, like, what is worth it to you? Like, clearly you want to go back and, like, relive your trauma.
Right. And it's like, you'll always have that thought in the back of your mind where it's like, what do I do right now? And it's like, just let it go.
For me, it's like, for me, I feel like it's my heart.
Yeah.
So big.
Yeah, and it's like...
so big.
We always love so hard.
Like, white knuckling right now.
No, yeah, like, you and I love so hard, and, like, we put our all into it. And,
well,
like...
and I just feel like I can see people for, like, what they've been through and shit. You know, like... Honestly, judge me right now, but, like, even, like, fucking axe murders, dude, like, they've been through some shit to make them crazy.
They did it for a reason.
I'm not saying this shit's okay.
We're not condoning it, but it's like,
but they
did it for a reason.
Shit that made him that way. Like, look at Richard Ramirez. That guy was brutally beaten, abused by, I think, his mom and his mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And of course, he ended up running around Los Angeles murdering fucking innocent lives because he was fucking hurting
It's
inside,
not okay.
dude.
Like, we're not condoning. Like,
no,
please
it's
don't
not
take
okay.
this video
like,
down. Like, it's not okay to murder people. Like, it's not okay to murder people. It's not okay. But, like, there comes a point where it's like,
this is what I see, though. This is what I see. It's like, okay, yeah, this guy's fucking nuts. This shit is not okay on a level. Yeah, but why? Like,
why is he nuts?
Look what the fuck he went through.
Like,
that shit
look what he went through. Like,
yeah.
Granted, he shouldn't have gone and murdered, like, thousands of people or, like, anything like that.
Not okay on any level.
But there's a reason why...
Don't get any ideas.
Yeah, please don't. But there's a reason why people are hurting inside, and they're gonna go and be like...
That's the point, yeah.
That's the point. It's like, even when someone hurts you... You know, like, they, not physically, like, it's not okay to, like, physically abuse someone. But if someone says something that's hurtful, like, call them out on it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, you just said this to me, like, what's going on? Like, you can mind fuck someone when you say that. Like, you can be like, you know, like, you just said this to me, I can see you're hurting, like, do you want to talk about it?
Totally.
It mind fucks them.
Totally.
Because you can
be like...
Very
important, too, to do that in a public setting, I would say, personally, because...
And, like, that circles back to, like, that sympathy and compassion thing.
Totally.
It's like, have that for others. So you don't want anyone to go out and...
Let's just, like, solve bullying, guys, okay? Yeah. That's basically what this is.
For sure. But it's like, you don't want anyone to go out and be an axe murderer because you bullied them or because you didn't listen to them. Like, not saying that would happen, but, like, people become axe murderers for a reason.
Has happened. Yeah, like...
But it's like... Don't know how it turned into that, but it's like...
That's where my mind goes.
Yeah, no, it's just like, come on, guys. Like, you don't want to be blamed for that, but... It's just... The moral of the story is, let's just end bullying. Let's just get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done.
We're all hurting.
Yeah.
We're all hurting.
We're all in pain. Everyone's in pain.
Yeah.
No one's fucking perfect. So if you're saying you're not,
don't you dare.
Don't you fucking dare come on this shit and say I'm great. No, you're not,
Don't
bitch.
come to me. No, don't come here.
I'm not giving you a fucking reading. But it's like, just take a second, realize that people are hurting inside, and You can either be adding to it and lighting that fire, or you can put that fire out and be there for them. You can either be the match or the fire extinguisher. Think of it like that, you know? Like, beautiful. And I think you and I are fire extinguishers, and there's some people in the world that are matches, but it's like, people are going through it, and... Like,
I'm ready to put out these flames.
Right. Like, let's get rid of, like, bullying. Let's be
done with it already.
But
it's just old, honey.
It's like, come on, like... I don't know if you've seen, but there's, like, so much cyberbullying, dude. Like, here, let's, like... Here, more statistics. Sorry, guys, it's getting boring.
No.
But, where is it?
This is part of awareness, you know? These are real lives that we are talking about right now in the statistics.
Let's look up cyberbullying statistics and just tell you guys what's going on. Because also, like, side note, you guys should watch the movie Cyberbully. It's great. I watched it in my psychology class. Oh. It's about cyberbullying.
I think I saw that. There's another one too. That was it Facebook or Google? One of them did a documentary, what is it called, about like teenagers on their phone and like the suicide rates attached to that.
Yeah, so young people who accessed or shared content or images of cyberbullying or violence had a 50% higher risk for thoughts of suicide. A survey of more than 6,000 10 to 18-year-olds had experienced at least one kind of cyberbullying in their lifetime, up to 50% of students. There's been a 70% increase in the amount of bullying, hate speech among teens and children in the months since the COVID-like lockdowns began. Teachers report that cyberbullying is their number one safety concerns in their classrooms. Bullshit. Anyways, no, I'm sorry, but
I know, honestly,
it's the teachers that, like,
they're just kind of
they just pretend to care.
Protecting themselves.
They just pretend to care. I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean to say bullshit, but teachers fucking bullied me and called me the F slur in high school. So it's like, I'm sorry, but like, girl, you don't care.
Totally.
Like, you hate your job. Like, you don't care.
And sometimes they don't fucking understand.
No, they don't. And it's like,
they're just annoyed.
Like, you know, like, if their favorite's being bullied and, like, called a bitch, they care. But it's like, when the gay kid in the back is called a faggot, they're like, oh, like, you're fine. You're good. Like, don't worry about it. You know, like, in high school, like, it was always, like, I was getting bullied on, and, like, it was their favorite bullying. So, like, oh, he's just joking around. He's just being a kid. You know, fuck that. Stop using the excuse they're being a kid, or they're being a boy, or they're... No.
Yeah.
I do not want to fucking hear that. Boys will be boys.
Oh my god.
That fucking irritates me.
I know.
Boys will be boys. No. Don't let your boys be boys. Don't. I'm sorry.
Well, teach your boys how to be a
teach your boys to be gentlemen.
Yeah, gentlemen.
Don't let them
there
be.
We go.
There's fucking 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds that I've talked to on fucking dating apps that are like so fucking disrespectful, so gross, so nasty, and it's like, who raised you? Like, come on now.
I mean, that's what it goes back to. You know what I mean?
But 1 in 3 young people in 30 countries said they have been a victim of online bullying. And 1 in 5 have reported skipping school due to cyberbullying and violence.
Wow.
So people are missing school. And then children and younger people who are victims of cyberbullying are more than twice as likely to self-harm and enact suicidal behavior or suicidal thoughts. You had those suicide statistics earlier that we gave.
Yep.
So it's nearly half of young people have received cyberbullying, so 47%. And then, what else? Over 2/3 say they experienced cyberbullying in the last year due to the pandemic. So that's another thing. We're all cooped up on our phones and on social media.
The pandemic has raised suicide rates.
Yeah. There's a lot of suicide rates due to the pandemic.
I know there's a lot of QAnon saying it's intentional and, you know, population control, whatever. But, I mean, we can combat these conspiracy theories or whatever. It takes a lot of, like, outreach, awareness. You know what I mean? And sharing fucking stories.
Right.
Sharing your fucking pain. Like, stop acting like
you
ain't been through shit.
Right. It's like,
some of us are lucky, like we went back to. Some of us are lucky and we don't know, but there 1 in 3 have been affected. Like, you are out there, people are out there, and like, it just feels good to have a safe place to come to and realize, like, fuck, I'm not alone. I'm not struggling.
No, yeah, like, you're not alone. Like, you are not alone. Like, if you just go on, like, social media, you'll see that people are being bullied every day. And it's like, just a lot of people have gotten so mean. Like, with the pandemic.
It could be
like,
ego, too.
No, yeah, ego, like,
think,
pandemic, like, and it's like, we're not trying to, like, say, like, the pandemic's an excuse to be mean or cyberbully, but it's just, everyone's been cooped up, you know, watching TikTok, watching social media, watching online stuff, and it's like,
Totally. Yeah.
a lot of people have gotten super safe behind their phones and their keyboards. Like you said, it's easier to come at someone across technology versus in their face.
Because you're not seeing that this is a living, breathing person with emotions.
You're seeing user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not seeing, you know, this person that is hurting inside and is already going through a lot of shit at home.
Right.
And you don't realize that you saying 3 words can fuck them up and put them in a mental hospital.
Yeah.
No, like...
So, really quick, too. So, like, when you were admitted... Were you feeling suicidal? Was that okay? Yeah, see, that's fucked up. That's fucked up because somebody made you feel that way.
But the thing is, when you get put in those fucking hospitals, no one realizes it makes you more suicidal.
Oh my god, I can fucking imagine.
It makes you fucking
psychotic.
But
yeah, dude.
Like, it's 3 days of hell. Someone watching you pee, someone watching you shower, someone sleeping next to you, you know, like, your bed being, like, fucking hard as a rock, like, you know, like, no fucking hair product, no fucking cologne, no makeup.
You're stripped of the things that are meant to bring you up and make you feel better.
You know, like, my mom brought me a fucking magazine to read. A fucking magazine. He could slit his throat with that. We're gonna have to take that. Like, brought me deodorant, and they're like, oh, he could eat that. He's not allowed to use deodorant. Like, simple fucking things. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking lose it in here and actually want to do it.
Wow.
And then, like I said, I was there for, like, the 3 days, and then after the 3 days, I was like, I'm great, like, get me out of here, like, I'm fine, I'm good, I don't feel that way anymore. And then not even, like, a month later, I think it was, like, 2-3 weeks later, I was like, you know, like, Mom, like, I lied, like, I'm dying, like, I'm still having those thoughts, I just didn't want to be there. And they put me in another mental hospital.
A different one?
A different one.
Fuck.
But hear me out.
Okay.
My mom was allowed to bring me food, allowed to bring me magazines, allowed to bring me deodorant, allowed to bring me, you know, like, makeup, allowed to bring me, like, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it helped because you need to find, like, it's not like a 5-star resort where you get to pick where you're going. I know that. Like, you don't get to pick what mental hospital you're going to.
Right.
You don't get to say, I want to go to this one. You know, it's not a, like, you know, like, I feel like a lot of, like, mental health has been, like, glamorized in a way.
Okay.
And, like, on TikTok, a lot of girls are, like, saying, like, depressed and cute, like, stuff like that. And it's like, it's become
the sad boy shit and all that.
Sad boy shit, sad girl shit. And it's like, you know, like, that hurts people that are actually going through that.
Right.
Because it's like, it's
like you're making like, suicide a trend.
You're making it a trend.
Suicidal mindsets.
And the thing is, like, I'm not saying people don't need therapy, but it's the people that need it that can't get access to it because the people that don't, like, really, really need it are in it.
Okay.
You know, and it's like them wanting to, like, get out of events or them wanting to, like, get excused from things. And,
so,
like,
that's real.
It's real.
You've seen it.
Well, I've seen it. I've seen, like...
Okay. Wow.
Like, with, like, college and stuff, like, my, like, professors were like, oh, like, I'm so sorry, like, you know, like, everyone's going through it, like, kind of thing. And it's like, okay, like, I understand we're all going through it, but it's like, it's sad that, like, you know, like, it's so glamorized now.
Wow.
Like, and I'm not saying mental health is sexy or glamorous or anything. It's just, like, you know, like, it's not a joke. It's not something that's fun. It's not fun. It's not great. It's not cool. It's not sexy. It's not, you know, beautiful. It's like, it's rough. It's tough.
Because the reality is there are limitations.
Right.
Like, even the other, you know, mental hospital you went to, it's like you had a little bit more freedom. You were able to have the magazine or whatever, but, like, you were not home. You know what I mean?
And, like, a lot of people think it's like on TikTok, like, I'm sure I can pull it up, but, like, people are, like, going on a Grippy sock vacation, like, posting that stuff, like, posting them being admitted to the mental hospital, going on a Grippy sock vacation, be back in 3 days. I'm not kidding. Like, I'll literally pull it up. Hold on. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding.
I was totally
I'm not
aware of this.
going on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I hope that those people like really do need the help, and like you said, they're not glamorizing
No, they
because
like like literally it's just videos like going on Grippy stock vacation, we'll be back soon, babes. Like,
wow.
yeah, and it's like I think I need to go on a Grippy stock vacation. Like, just it's becoming like mental health. Like, and this guy, like, literally, he just posts him like going on all these like he's making it glamorized, and it's like it's not glamorous. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. And I'm not saying you have to like do it in silence or do it alone, but
Right. Don't avoid if you feel like you really need the help.
if you need the help, and it's like if you need like, and it's like a cry for help, great.
But if you're
Like,
trying to be on TikTok.
But if you're trying to be on TikTok and get TikTok famous from it, and like you're like, how many likes am I getting on this video? It's like, really?
That's self-destructive.
Like, it's very self-destructive, and it's like, do you really need this help, or are you taking the resources away from someone that actually needs the help?
Wow, I never.
Like, are you doing it for social? Like, are you doing it for social media and like not even needing to go on like a a Grippy sock vacation, not even needing to go on this? Like, if you actually need the help and like you're just documenting it and like wanting support, great. But if you're just doing it for like TikTok likes and TikTok views and like doing like, oh, like my stay on a Grippy sock vacation, like a vacation documentary, like,
yeah,
it's like,
I'm sure there's people in there who are not trying to be on that because they really need help,
right? And it's like, are you taking that like bed away from someone that actually needs it and can't get in treatment and they actually need that like that hold, or are you?
Damn.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like,
Totally.
no, like, it's like no one really thinks about that. Like, no one really thinks of like that aspect. And it's like, yeah, it's funny on TikTok. It's super, it's hilarious. Like, it's haha, like, let's go, like, kind of thing. Like, let's all go, gals. Like, let's go on a Grippy sock vacation. But it's like, it's not Hawaii. I'm sorry. It's not Hawaii. It's not Joshua Tree. Like, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like, everything's taken from you. Like, your clothes are taken from you. Like, they take your shoelaces. They take your hoodie laces. They take fucking everything from you. They they like strip you, make you take a shower, they look your body up and down, like, it's fucking tough. And like to see it like a joke, and I'm like, oh, like I actually went through that and actually needed that treatment. It's like, to see it like a joke, it's like, come on, guys, like, it's not,
it's offensive to you and what you've been through. And
like coworkers, like when I'm like crying and like sad, they're like, I think you need a Grippy sock vacation. Like, I'm like, girl, like, haha. Like, in the moment, I'm like, yeah, maybe, like, you're so funny, haha. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, you're fucking stupid. Like,
right, and maybe they also don't know that you have literally
I don't think they do, and that's,
I'm not thing.
No one can know what I don't tell someone. And
True.
I'm not mad about them, like, saying that thing, and it's funny, because they don't know my past. Not everyone knows my past. Like, I haven't told everyone my past. Sure. But the thing is, like, I think we all need to get rid of that mindset that it's like fun or cute, or like, like sad girl shit. Like, that's not cute. Like, you saying, hey, I need some help, like I'm struggling. Okay, I'll be there for you.
Right, and but like probably not on a social platform.
No.
Like, I know that there's like a hotline where people who really want to save your life and keep you here and help you and know how to do that will talk to you.
Yeah, but like don't go online and like trust strangers to help you. Like, please, like, reach out like to the hotline. Please reach out to friends. Like,
well, I'm not even just like strangers, because I mean, like, the person you'll call on the hotline is going to be a stranger, but people who are just like on a platform for entertainment.
Sure.
That is the purpose of social media, is entertainment and blogging, I guess. But I mean, we need to separate that. I feel like
I think we've all just kind of gotten so comfortable
a little bit.
So comfortable on social media, posting every second of every day, and I'm guilty of that. Like, I literally post my Starbucks, like I post every second when I'm like with my friends or like with my family, and it's like I think there's a song out there and it's like, put the phone down and like look at the world around you, or something like that.
Totally.
And it's like that saying, like, stop and look at the roses. Like, we've all gotten so comfortable of like living. Like, there's not a world in here. I'm sorry, but it's you could smash it on the floor and it's gone.
I know.
It's a piece of metal and glass and like a battery. Like, you could smash it on the floor and it's gone. There's, like, your friends aren't in here. Like, it's a piece of, like, it's a phone.
Yeah.
And, like, it's internet, and, like, we've all gotten so comfortable. Whereas, like, I will literally text my friend at 1 a.m., like, hey, can I come, like, give you a hug? Like, can I come talk? Like, I used to be so comfortable with that thing. Like, I used to be, like, always on it, like, always on my phone, like, wanting, like, the best, like, life and, like, pretending I'm perfect and pretending everything's great. But I'm done. Like, honestly, like, I'm about to, like, literally just go buy a fucking flip phone. Like, I know that sounds, like, really bad, but it's
No,
like...
it doesn't.
I don't fucking need the internet anymore.
It doesn't sound weird. I gotta be honest with you. When I was out in New York, I was riding city bikes through this Jewish community, and like all the men who were on a phone they were all on a flip phone. It felt so weird. I felt like I was in a time capsule, but it was really cool. You know, I was like, damn. Like I don't remember the last time I saw a flip phone.
Right, and there's like this is what I like about social media. There's like people that like will literally just log out of their like social media for a day, get burner phones with their friends, get disposable cameras with their friends, just fucking go, like, enjoy the world, like travel. Like, you told me, like, you need a vacation, like, go travel, like, go live your life. Like, and I know there's things that can stop that, you know, like traveling is expensive. It's like, but there's things you can do in your own city.
Yeah.
Like, you can do like a staycation, like literally just like shut your phone off.
Yeah.
Close your curtains, like have a good time at home.
Something out of your ordinary routine. Yeah. If you're broke as fuck, get a fucking tent and pitch it in the backyard somewhere. If you don't have a backyard, find someone with a backyard.
Right.
Make a little
or just
fucking
fucking
bonfire.
Get sleeping bags and like sleep on your fucking living room floor.
Totally.
And just like have a good old time.
Be
like,
a kid again. Make a little fort with the blankets and sheet. Like, just do something out of the ordinary for
like,
yourself.
At the end of the day, like, that phone dies and the world's still out there.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like a lot of people have gotten so used to like, oh, my phone's dead. I need my phone. Like, I literally left the house the other day without my phone, and I'm like, fuck, I need to go back and get my phone. I should have just been like, oh, I can do the day without my phone. Like, you know, like, I just, oh, God, like, I feel like we've all gotten to that point where we're like, we need our phone. Like, our phone's like our be-all, end-all, and it's like,
right.
For what?
Well, on that note, get off your phone now. No, I'm kidding.
No, like, get off your fucking phone.
Thank you, Cam, for this.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like you really helped, like, make an impact for, you know, those in the community who have been bullied. Even for the LGBTQ community, especially, you know, because you have like such an authentic and real story that you were willing to share. So thank you for being that person for the people who need it. Because I believe it's people who need that, you know, who are coming here to this space and discovering, you know, these episodes. So thank you for being you and coming here.
Like, you can put my socials like in the like YouTube if anyone needs like advice or like has any questions. Like, I'm more than happy to like talk to y'all. Like,
if there's any similarities, if you have questions, if you want to relate on a deeper level with Cam, I'll definitely plug him into the description box below. So again,
thank you for having me. It was a great time.
We had fun.
Yeah,
always a good time.
Always.
That was awesome. Thank you for being with me today. If you felt this in your heart and your soul and your center, then please subscribe for more soulful messages. And most importantly, be somebody's angel today and share this episode. Until next time, Angelians, peace and love.